Today, the Dallas Stars play off against the Winnipeg Jets in game number 1 of their 2025 Stanley Cup Playoffs second round series. And the last game that both of these teams played were incredible third period comebacks against all odds. Both of these teams playing without their best forward and their best D-man. No Morrissey and Scheifele for Winnipeg, no Robertson and Heiskanen for Dallas. Things may change later today, but for what we saw in both of the Game 7s over the past few days for Dallas and Winnipeg, it was the story of dreams for both of these teams. However, we made a video about the Dallas Game 7 and how one Mikko Rantanen absolutely exploded, going off on his former team and willing this Dallas team to defeat the Avs and make it to round number 2. What was it, the first third period Game 7 hat trick of all time? Crazy. But Mikko Rantanen is in a pretty interesting spot because earlier yesterday on Real Kipper and Bourne, there was a clip that was making the rounds on social media that revealed just exactly what happened and the full details as to how Mikko Rantanen left the Avalanche. And it doesn't look good for Colorado. I'll leave a link in the description to this Twitter thread posted by Lucas Aruda92. It is a 6-minute clip of what it is Kipper and Bourne speak about on their Sportsnet show. And it's so long, in fact, that there is another part to it in the replies, another 4-minute video of the same conversation. Kipper goes out there and lays the scoop as to what went down, and to help us out into seeing what it is that he said, I used the AI machine to help transcribe what it is that Kipper and Bourne spoke about in the show. So we're going to be screenshotting these comments, reading them here on air, and just diving into what happened with Mikko Rantanen and the Colorado Avalanche. Kipper says this: the 30-30 that you're talking about would go back and would tell the story of a guy in Rantanen that never wanted to leave Colorado and what he did to want to stay there. So what is it? Justin Bourne asks. McKinnon's number? Was that the thing? They didn't want to pay him more than McKinnon? McKinnon, by the way, is making $12.6 million a year. Kipper replies, quite possibly they didn't want to pay him more than McKinnon, but he had made it clear to them that it didn't have to get that high. The story that I'd heard was that the agents set the market at $13 million. The Avalanche stuck predominantly for that whole season at David Pasternak's number, 11.2. You're Pasternak, buddy. That's what they told him, 11.2. Bourne then replies, and Rantanen's going, Pasternak's underpaid, buddy. Kipper then says, the agents are going 13, and the agents are also saying low 80s on the salary cap when Pasternak signed. Rantanen's in the mid-90s, okay? The bar's moved. It's not 11.2. And then I believe that their last offer came in around 11.6. And now the agents are at 13, or Rantanen's 13 on a fair market price for him. And then Rantanen got involved. He went back to the office and said, I am flexible. We can work this out. And then 48 to 72 hours later, traded to Carolina. So, this is quite dire, isn't it? This is really bad. I can understand being a hardball negotiator. I can understand using another guy who is comparable in numbers and production and goals and also as a winger and stuff. I can understand using him, David Pastrnak, as a comparable name. But Kipper's right here. When Pastrnak signed his contract, it was low 80s on the salary cap. It wasn't that high. Now, Rantanen's in a world where the salary cap's gotten a lot higher, which is why guys like Austin Matthews and Leon Draisaitl are getting a lot more dough. It's because this isn't the Connor McDavid $12.5 million cap limit ceiling world like we had been used to living in the past few years. The NHL and the teams within have so much more room to add on millions of dollars, so much so that Pasternak's 11-2 isn't really the comparable number anymore when you look at percentage of the cap. So for Rantanen and his agents to be arguing with the Colorado Avalanche and they're not able to settle on a deal, they're $1.4 million off, for Rantanen himself to go over to Colorado management and say, yeah, no, I'm flexible. You're dealing with my agents, but I'm willing to move my number. I want to stay here. And then after he says that, they get him traded out. Bourne goes out there and asks, the number that Rantanen signed with in Dallas is 12, and I understand there's a tax difference, but give me 12.5. Kipper says he would have signed at 12 all day long. Now that is fireable to me, Bourne says. Kipper says, I'm telling you, all day long, I can sit here with a straight face and look at the both of you and said that same contract at 12 would have gotten it done in Colorado. Oh my gosh. You know what, though? You know what's going to happen? If that's understood in the dressing room? Bourne says, you're going to lose Nathan MacKinnon. Kipper then says, do you understand that it is understood? Did you hear Nate's comments after the game? We lost to a team without their best D-man and without their best forward. I don't know what we're going to do. It's almost like he was saying, I don't know what you guys are gonna do. He is pissed. Nate today is pissed. And that... oh boy, Nathan MacKinnon is a gamer. That is crazy. It's also maybe one of the primary motivators as to MacKinnon playing in the World Championships this year for Team Canada. Sure, there have been eliminations in the past with Colorado, but Mac hasn't played for Team Canada at the Worlds in, 8 years? Something like that? 7, 8 years? He's there with Crosby, and he is also there with Marc-Andre Fleury, so it's going to be a crazy good Canadian squad here to watch at the Worlds. But something tells me that a lot of what MacKinnon is doing in this tournament is going to be fueled by the anger he's gotten for his team during this Stanley Cup playoff run. Understanding now that Mikko Rantanen and the Colorado Avalanche were however $1 million apart, but also that if Colorado just went an extra $400,000 more on their dollar amount offer, they could have kept Rantanen. They wouldn't have needed to trade him away. And as a result, the Avalanche would not have gotten eliminated by Mikko Rantanen in the first round in Game 7 after a third period comeback hat trick. That is what stings the most, is that Rantanen would have accepted 12, but the Avalanche's highest offer was 11.6, and Rant said he wanted to be flexible, but he got traded after he told the team that. This is really bad, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Nick Kypreos' update as to how everything fell apart between Rantanen and the Colorado Avalanche. The truth has been revealed now. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.